This farm has zero insect damage, and the farmer never sprays a single chemical. What he's doing instead is something almost nobody talks about. For centuries, farmers have hidden a trick that big companies don't want you to know. It's been passed down quietly, farm to farm, generation to generation. It's not a spray, it's not a poison, and it costs almost nothing to start, yet it works better than most products sold in stores today. Scientists studied it for years, and what they found changed modern farming forever. Even they were surprised by how simple the truth really was. This secret is so simple, a child could do it in their backyard. No expensive tools, no special training, just a little bit of knowledge. But before we reveal it, you need to understand the silent war happening in every field, a battle most people never even notice. Every single night, millions of insects invade farms across the world. They move in silence, and by morning, the damage is already done. They don't just eat leaves, they destroy entire harvests in days, wiping out months of hard work in what feels like a single night. One farmer lost almost his entire tomato crop in a single week. Everything he had planted, cared for, and depended on was suddenly gone. Chemical pesticides seemed like the answer, but they came with a terrifying cost. What looked like a solution slowly became a new kind of problem. The soil started dying, the bees disappeared, the problem got worse, not better, no matter how much they sprayed. Farmers were stuck between losing their crops or poisoning their land. Neither choice felt like a real way forward. That's when a few farmers decided to stop fighting nature and start listening to it instead. It was a small shift that changed everything. They noticed something strange happening in one small corner of the field, something that didn't match anything they had learned before. That corner had almost no insect damage at all, while everything around it was slowly being destroyed. Was it luck, or was something else going on beneath the surface, something no one had bothered to study before? What they discovered next would quietly change farming forever, even though almost nobody outside these fields ever heard about it. The secret wasn't a product, it was a pattern hidden in nature itself, one that had been sitting in plain sight the entire time. Certain plants release chemical signals that confuse and repel insects, sending out warnings that most pests instinctively avoid. Other plants attract the insect's natural enemies instead, quietly calling in reinforcements the farmer never has to lift a finger for. It's not one trick, it's an entire hidden ecosystem working together, each part supporting the next in ways most people never see. Farmers call this the living shield, a natural defense system that protects the field without a single drop of chemical spray. And it starts with just 3 simple plants you could probably find at any local nursery this weekend. The first plant confuses insects with its strong scent, making it almost impossible for pests to find your target. Insects rely on scent to find food. Without it, they simply move on to easier, less protected fields nearby. Step 2. Plant marigolds around the border of your field. This simple flower does more than just add color. Marigolds release a natural chemical that many pests can't stand, quietly working around the clock while you sleep. Even underground, marigold roots repel harmful soil pests, protecting your crops from threats you can't even see above the ground. Step 3. Attract the right insects, not repel every insect, because some of them are actually working in your favor. Ladybugs, lacewings, and certain wasps are nature's pest control team, hunting down the harmful insects before they ever reach your crops, working faster and more precisely than any spray ever could. To attract them, farmers plant flowers like dill, fennel, and yarrow. These flowers act like a 5-star restaurant for beneficial insects, keeping them close by and ready to defend your crops at any moment. Step 4. Rotate your crops every season, breaking the cycle that pests depend on to survive year after year. Insects lay eggs expecting the same crop to return the next year, planning their entire life cycle around your predictable habits. When the crop changes, their entire life cycle collapses, leaving generations of pests with nowhere left to feed or grow. Step 5. Use natural sprays made from neem oil, an ingredient farmers have quietly trusted for centuries. Neem oil disrupts an insect's hormones without harming plants or soil, offering protection without any harsh side effects. It's one of the oldest natural pesticides, still unmatched today, even after decades of modern chemical innovation. Step 6. Keep the soil alive and rich with organic matter, because everything above the ground starts with what's happening below it. Healthy soil grows stronger plants, and strong plants resist insects naturally, almost as if they were built to defend themselves. Weak, stressed plants are what insects are truly drawn to, sensing vulnerability the same way a predator senses fear. Step 7. Mix your crops instead of planting one type alone, creating diversity that pests simply cannot navigate. A single crop field is easy prey. A mixed field confuses insects completely, forcing them to work far harder for far less reward. This is exactly how nature designed forests to survive without any human help, thriving in perfect balance for millions of years. Farmers simply copied nature's own blueprint, realizing the best system was never something they had to invent. No secret formula, no expensive chemicals, just balance, patience, and a willingness to work with nature instead of against it. This method takes weeks to build, but lasts for generations, becoming a system that future harvests can rely on for years to come. And once it's in place, the results are almost unbelievable, changing everything about how a farm looks and feels. Within one season, insect damage dropped by more than half, a change so dramatic even skeptical neighbors couldn't ignore it. The farmer who once lost everything now had his best harvest in years, standing proof that this simple method actually works. Bees returned, birds returned, the land felt alive again, as if the entire ecosystem had been waiting for this shift to happen. Nearby farmers noticed and started asking questions, curious how one field could look so different from all the others around it. Word spread from farm to farm, town to town, as more people saw the results with their own eyes. What started as one man's experiment became a quiet farming revolution, spreading farther than anyone could have predicted. Today, this method saves farmers thousands of dollars in chemical costs, money they can now invest right back into their land. It also protects their families from the dangers of pesticide exposure, giving them peace of mind that no product ever could. The soil, once dying, is now full of life and nutrients, teeming with organisms that make every future harvest stronger. Even the taste of the crops improved, naturally sweeter, naturally stronger, a difference people could notice with the very first bite. This wasn't just a farming trick, it was a return to how nature always intended things to work long before chemicals ever entered the picture. And it's still working today, quietly, in fields all around the world, proving that the simplest answers are often the most powerful ones. So, the next time you eat a fruit or vegetable with no chemical taste, remember this secret, because somewhere a farmer made a quiet choice that changed everything. Nature already had the answer, we just forgot to listen, buried under years of shortcuts and quick fixes. But this is only one secret. Farmers are hiding many more, methods that have never been fully explained until now. Some involve the soil beneath your feet, others involve the moon above your head, techniques that sound impossible until you see the results. Would you want to know what farmers do differently when no one is watching, in the quiet hours before sunrise? If this secret shocked you, wait until you see what's coming next, because this was only the very beginning of the story.